Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh. So, another day, and the war in Iran rages on, even though Trump declared victory yesterday. Lollipop, nice. But that's just how it goes. Just like when George W. Bush Jr. declared victory really early to the Iraq war. Some people just repeat mistakes from the past as well. It's fine. People in Finland are freaking out when the gas prices are over €2 now. In some places, not everywhere, but some places. Priorities. People are just freaking out when gasoline costs a lot, but not when lives are lost. But I mean, that's different people have different priorities. There was actually a suspected terror attack in United States. There was a person ramming a vehicle into a Detroit area synagogue. The suspect is dead though, and there was no casualties, but I think Donald Trump just said something about that.
And before we begin, I want to send our love to the Michigan Jewish community and all of the people in Detroit area following the attack on the Jewish synagogue early today, and I've been fully briefed, and it's a terrible thing, but it goes on. We're going to be right down to the bottom of it. It's absolutely incredible that things like this happen.
I think somebody should have passed a note to Trump how to react to a tragedy, because I'm sorry, but
on the Jewish synagogue
listen to this.
Early today, and I've been fully briefed, and it's a terrible thing, but it goes on.
But it goes on. What up, liberal? Good afternoon.
We're gonna be right down to the bottom of it. It's absolutely incredible that things like this happen. On another front, and entirely
I need your hair.
Front,
can't have it.
Situation
Unfortunately, it's sticking.
Along very rapidly. And before we begin, I want.
Unfortunately, I can't remove my hair. Unfortunately, after it was proven by Caroline Levitt, out of all people, that the California thing that we talked about yesterday, that there was that reported terror attack threat on California by the FBI. Caroline Levitt said that that's not true. There was never a threat, and the news agencies shouldn't have reported about that. That's the risk here. Yesterday I played around with the idea that USA might do a thing like that to justify why they are in Iran. And unfortunately, the backlash that I already see in social media regarding the attempted terror attack on the synagogue in Detroit, a lot of people are saying that this is, again, a false flag and justifying United States' presence in Iran. And they're already saying that they don't believe that this was real. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. There was a person who drove into the synagogue. That's true. So let's let the FBI investigate and find what they find. And let's make our judgments after that. Before that, it's kind of irrelevant to make any jumps into conclusions or anything like that. But timing of it is interesting. Your hair looks super today. I mean, I think not to talk too much about my hair, but because otherwise my favorite hair commenter will come here. But I didn't take a shower today yet. I'm probably taking it after stream, but I forgot to take my shower. What up, Barbie Brown? Maybe that's the reason. Like, I'm new here. Where are you from? I'm from Finland. Talk about Iran. I'll talk about Iran. I'll talk about Iran. That was just like about the Detroit, Michigan thing. Diesel prices are going crazy. Hey, thanks for the follow, Barbie. Iran just launched, literally a minute ago, a fresh missile strike on Israel. Iran has launched a series of missiles at Israel, with Haaretz reporting sirens sounding in central Israel and Tel Aviv. How do you think this will end? Horribly, with a lot of deaths. That's how it's going to end. And that's not a good thing. And unfortunately, because it is going to end with deaths and blood on the ground, what Israel and United States is doing at the moment is creating a new wave of like a new generation of people who are just going to have animosity towards the United States and going to continue shouting death to America, unfortunately. That's just what happens when you like kill a lot of people. Choose lady, thanks for the follow. Well, you're having a good hair day then, apparently. Maybe I should shower less. India is threatening Iran for Israel. Do you think they'll do anything? I mean, what the hell would India do? Nothing. My cousin in Iran and thanking BP and Trump. What up, Cat for Life? Amory, thanks for the follow, and Guy Diesel, thanks as well. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Every time somebody says that my so-and-so friend is in Iran and celebrating, like, I see so many right-wingers say the same thing, and they were like sharing that one Iranian account a lot on Twitter that spread the false information about the Iranian girls' school being hit by Iran. It was like literally their go-to account saying that their like family is in Iran and they know better than anybody else. And well, it so happens to be it's the United States. So that's the issue with social media and people claiming that they know somebody from somewhere. Like, that's the reason why I don't really take people celebrating that seriously, because we've seen that in the past as well. Because that's not a measurement that we should measure, like if a thing is good or not. Because people are always going to be initially happy about something, but eventually when they found out that they don't have freedom in their elections and they can't decide their future leaders because they're decided by another country or two countries in this instance, like, the celebration was like premature. You don't have a country anymore, you're a colony. Congratulations. What were you celebrating about? Why they blame it's like Trump killed that little girls? It was military's fault. I mean, Trump is the in charge of military when it's war. So that's how United States work. I think that's the reason why they blame Trump, and Trump started the war. So maybe that's also who's winning winning this war. It depends how you define winning. Who gets what they want is probably going to be United States and Israel, but is that winning? And what cost? He's giving the orders. The same ones that killed 30,000 of... I wasn't... Real Waffle, you were here yesterday as well. Did you go to my profile like I told you to? I told you yesterday to... I'm pretty sure it was you, or you might have an alt account, but... I've been on the side of the Iranian people for a long time, because like this is not a new thing. If you just woken up to the suffering of Iranian people, like, you're misinformed. It's been going on since 1979. Being on the side of Iranian, the people of Iran, doesn't mean that I should be celebrating when regime change is made by United States and Israel, and they're going to take control of who's going to be the next leader of the country. It is like real awful. If you're this misinformed, I mean, you're not doing any service for the Iranian people. Trump has stated many times, Pahlavi is not going to be the next leader. Trump doesn't like. Well, Trump said that Pahlavi is a nice guy, but he's not suitable for the interest of Israel and United States. So Pahlavi is not going to be there. And they also said that whoever they choose, if they're not like on the side of United States and Israel, they're not going to accept it. Our taxes are not only for the welfare of the United States people, not to war. I mean, Kakar Belang, at the moment, it's funding war quite a lot. And Trump is going to increase the defense budget next year as well. Have you ever thought about being Ozzy Osbourne impersonator? I've heard so many times people calling me Ozzy that I might think about that. Maybe I'll dress as Ozzy next Halloween. That would be an easy. You'll get way more real news than... I mean, it's easy when you just read news from different sources. United States are kind of like... All the news outlets are technically like talk shows and fucking entertainment, just like Fox News. Even though Fox News says that it's in the name it says news, but we have a court case against Tucker Carlson that Fox News actually admitted that they are not a news agency, they're entertainment. They needed to make that definition because of the claims they made against Tucker Carlson. And that's why it's wild that people like believe Fox News, not to mention like CNN and NBC and others. They're not any better. Who is he to choose for? I mean, Trump has stated that he's going to make the decision just like in Venezuela. Johnny DR, thanks for the follow. It's not even only case against Fox. No, it's not only about like, as I stated, Fox was like literally the first thing that came to my mind because they're still claiming that they're a news agency, but they're not a news agency. Maka would be better off focusing on eradicating corruption. It's hard to eradicate corruption, Kakaru, even though I do agree, like, corruption should be eradicated. But it's even that they have, like, pickpocketing what corruption and what fraud they are interested in. If the color of your skin is darker than pale beige, they're gonna investigate your fraud. But if you're a white person, especially if you're a rich person, you get pardoned by the president. Cuba is like, Marco Rubio left to Cuba, right? We haven't heard anything about it. And I know that's going to be the next in the agenda list for the United States because they really declared that already. That after Iran, Cuba's going to be next. Money out of politics will take care of a lot of corruption. Unfortunately, that's going to be a tough thing to sell in the United States. I do agree, 100%. I do agree that there should be no lobbying in politics. Anybody who takes lobby money should be arrested and put to jail because they're not like for the people. Alice, good to see you, friend. Always happy to see you here. What up, Vixes? Rubio might be the next to fall. He has such a fucking brown tongue and knows that. I don't think Rubio is going to fall. Every damn country can be next. That is an unfortunate truth. Do you think Americans will stop this Iran thing? Not as long as fucking Iran is like calling Trump's regime the Epstein regime and like ridiculing Trump. I don't think Trump will let that slide. His ego is really fragile. He doesn't take like jokes about him that well. We all remember what happened when Obama joked about Trump. Trump became the president. AIPAC is why Israel owns the USA. AIPAC is enabling that. I don't think it's the only reason why Israel has a lot of power in the United States, but AIPAC is definitely one that's enabling that. Do you think the religious theocracy of Iran should have nuclear weapons. If Israel is having nuclear weapons, Pakistan has nuclear weapons, India has nuclear weapons, China, United States, and Russia has nuclear weapons. I don't think it's like if we're not giving away all the nuclear weapons, which would be the most appropriate action in 2026, I don't think there's a limit of who can and can't have nuclear weapons. That would be hypocrisy. I think no one should own nuclear weapons, but as long as we have nuclear weapons, that's the best defense against like regime change and evildoers. So all countries should have them. Sleight of hand, I don't think you listened what I said. Sleight of hand, I understand, like, hearing what I said is kind of wild, but what I said was no one should have nuclear weapons. But that is a utopia because Trump doesn't want to give it, like, United States don't want to give out their nuclear weapons. Russia doesn't want to give out their nuclear weapons. So as long as we live in a world that is run by fucking lunatics that think that they should have weapons of mass destruction that can destroy the whole fucking civilization, who is to determine who gets a nuke and who doesn't? The only reason why US hasn't invaded North Korea is the nuclear weapons. I'm from Netherlands and I live in the US. It was good for a while, but here we are now, man. Sucks ass because I'm too invested now just to live again. Nuclear non-proliferation was the goal, but then some countries went and said they should be the exception. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what the topic needs to be focused on those two men. What two men? Donald and Benjamin need to face justice. Oh yeah, 100%. And Donald Trump will face justice if he's still alive when his presidency ends. But until that happens, like, probably not. Unless, like, Dems win the midterms. War affects everyone, 100%. Eki, what up? Yeah, I scrolled back. Yeah, I didn't need to scroll back. I just click your username and I can see your message history in the chat. Message history in the chat. You are the biggest and best military in the world, so deal with it. And too bad. Oh, God. Steve, you do realize that your daddy Trump doesn't give a fuck about you. So if you step out of line, he will make you stay in line. If you think if you're like a part of the cult that is actually like Trump gives a shit about, you're mistaken. He loves his own pockets more than anyone else. And of course, he has his donors and like benefactors that have invested a lot of money in Trump. If you really, really think that he gives a fuck about you, Netanyahu is dead. No, Netanyahu is not dead. I would be celebrating if he was dead, but he's not dead. Are you from Finland? Yeah. Say it like it is, brother. Keep the focus on those two people. They are a problem, not Iran. Yeah, it wasn't Iran who attacked United States or Israel. Too little, too late. You're a fucking dumbass. That's not what I said. I hate that I need to repeat myself, but I've been on the side of revolution and the Iranian people to rise up. That doesn't mean I'm in favor of a military operation, war against Iran, causing thousands and thousands of civilians to die. Almost 200 girls died between the age of 7 and 12. And regime change that United States and Israel decide the future of Iran and who's going to lead it. If you're on the side of that, you're a fucking idiot and you shouldn't be spouting out your ideas. The war is not about the regime anymore. It's about Iran's independence. It's not about Iran's independence. What the hell are you talking about? Trump doesn't give two shits about Iran's independence. What the hell are you talking about? Do you honestly believe that Trump and Netanyahu gives two shits about Iran's independence? They want to control Iran. They want to control Iran. That's what it means when Trump says that they are going to choose who's going to be the next leader of Iran. If the people choose the wrong one, if they ever have elections, Trump and Netanyahu's just going to veto that and say like, no, that's not happening. That's what it's so. This is what the war is about. Control. That's not freedom. If you think that's freedom, you're delusional. That's not that's a colony. That's not independence. It's about mineral extraction, yo. Think so. Where are these people talking? They're in TikTok. There's 200 of them in TikTok. I feel like just me in here, so I should go where. It's in TikTok, literally, like 210 people there. There's a lot of bots there as well, like saying that Iran is like fucking free and freedom, which is true. Iranian people deserve freedom, but they don't deserve the be a colony of the United States and Israel, or United States of Israel. Haven't they hit North Korean embassy in Iran? I heard news about that, but like, well, not news about that. I saw some posts about that, but I was surprised that I couldn't really find any like proper news. Just like smaller news agencies reporting that, and that would be interesting, though. Did Israel attack North Korean embassy? Yeah, like literally. That was like circulating in social media quite a lot, but there's no like valid or solid evidence of that. Would be hilarious though that Kim Jong-un all of a sudden decided to join the chat. USA won't win this war, believe me. It's time for them to lose, including Israel. Why do you ignore every good things people is saying? Because there's so many comments, Tompa. What did you say? I'd say United States is winning. Well, it's not winning. Depends how you define winning. Trump already declared victory yesterday, and 2 minutes later he said that this is going to continue. Keep it loud and proud, brother. Stay on track. That's what's wrong with mainstream media. I hope Iran's women are going to get free at least. I hope the citizens of Iran gets freed. I hope Trump and Netanyahu leaves Iran alone immediately when the mission is accomplished and they've destroyed the regime. But we know that's not going to happen. They have like other ideas of the future of Iran. Who is winning then? Iran. I mean, as I've stated many times, Iranian people aren't going to win this unless Israel and the United States immediately just leave the fuck alone when they destroy the regime. But they're not going to do that. Bush declared victory in Iraq before the war even got heated up. Exactly. So Iran ain't going to win then. No. There's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of blood on the ground. And that blood and death is going to be on, unfortunate for a lot of people in the chat, that blood is going to be on Netanyahu and Trump. And every single US service member who were wounded already and died are fighting this needless war. Young, thanks for the follow. Completely needless. Iran already agreed to the guarantees of not acquiring nuclear weapons or creating a nuclear program. But then Israel and the United States shifted the goalpost to include ballistic missiles and mid-range missiles as well. Iran agreed not to have a nuclear program and nuclear weapons. They were having a meeting on the Monday, and USA attacked them on Saturday with Israel. It was never about the nuclear weapons. It was never about the nuclear weapons. Well, USA put boots on the ground. I think Bibi Netanyahu said already today that they need to do that. Because bombing is not going to be enough. Nico, thanks for the follow. Really? Where are you from? Finland originally. I live in Ireland. There was a person who solved software puzzles with that hairstyle. Probably quite a few. This hairstyle is quite like usual when it comes to like tech industry. Iran never agreed what you're reading. No. Literally the fucking minister in Oman, who was also in negotiating, reported that. Iran agreed to not have a nuclear program and nuclear weapons. Even fucking White House admitted that. But it was about the ballistic missiles and the mid-range missiles. Iran is waiting for the boots on the ground. Iran's foreign minister and like the army chief said that bring on your soldiers. They're waiting, which is fucking batshit crazy if you ask me. Who the hell wants a full-blown like ground war? I guess that's why Kennedy got shot. What? I think I skipped a few comments from you, John, but like let me catch up. Okay. That was a bit of a lead, you know. Boots on the ground is a horrible idea. But if they really want to do regime change, they need to do boots on the ground. You hate America. I don't hate America. Like, disliking what Trump is doing is not hating America, you fucking idiot. Okko Mikko, no. Like, me disliking what Obama did in Libya and what Obama did for the immigrant children, putting them on cages. Do you remember that? I do, because I was against that. Being against the president or leader of a country doesn't mean I hate the whole fucking country. Just like when I call Netanyahu a war criminal, and I don't like Netanyahu, doesn't mean I don't like the country of Israel or doesn't like the citizens of Israel. Just like when I'm criticizing Putin and Kremlin, doesn't mean I hate Russians or the country of Russia. If your brain is only wired to think like, oh my God, my country is the same as my leader, I'm sorry, but like, we're in a bit of a different level when we're having a conversation here. Do you not care about other living beings? What the fuck are you saying? Every time there's death, I am devastated. I've been reporting on the 30,000 plus women and children died in Palestine for a long time. I was as devastated when October 7th happened and about 1,000 civilians died there. When 1,500 students died in Bangladesh by their government, I was devastated. Every time this is the issue. I'm always for human life. Nobody has the right to take another person's life. That's why when Iranians were killed by their government, I was against that. That's why Palestinians being slaughtered and massacred by Israel, I'm against that. This is consistency. I don't like people dying on the hands of others. When China put millions of Uyghur Muslims to re-education camps, Free Palestine, yeah. They literally, like, nobody was almost talking about that. What about in the US? I literally, last time, like, there was 3 shootings at the same day. 3 mass shootings on the same day, like a week ago in the United States. I was reporting those. there were only 3 casualties. And I was asked, like, because I was told that 3 isn't that much because there's 340 million people in the United States. And I said that even 1 is too much. Even 1 death on a mass shooting is too much. I was told by Americans that they don't give a fuck about 3 people dying because there's 340 million people in America. I do. I care. Especially if they're like school shootings in America. A lot of Americans were crying and like writing memoirs of like Charlie Kirk dying. In the meanwhile, there was a mass shooting in Colorado, literally on the same day. Children dying. 3 children died the same day as Charlie Kirk. United States flag was put to half-mast for 1 person. But nobody remembered or even fucking mentioned the kids that died. No one. So don't come and say to me that I don't care about human life. I do. Americans don't care about kids. I mean, if they cared about like children dying, they would do something about it. You don't care about human life. Oh, go fuck yourself. That's such a rage bait. That was literally your first comment here. I love that. We need peace, then, Gappy, if those 2 countries do exist. But you don't care about Kirk. No, I didn't say that. Like, Tom, but is your brain only wired to like, oh no, you said something different than this thing, so you must hate this thing. Like, what the hell is this? My care for human life even extends to people I don't agree with. Charlie Kirk should have not been assassinated. He didn't deserve to die on the hands of another person. My fucking God. This is the reason why... I'm gonna make a bit of a leap here. This is the reason why Trump is president on the 2nd time. Because people's brains are wired to think just like, oh, you need to support this 100%. And if you say something that's actually not saying that you don't support it, but you also support a different thing, then you're against us. It's like the dividing mentality that you, like, my fucking God. Losing my shit. Sorry about that. I'll calm down. Well, not actually calming down. Make a poll, who's more evil, USA or... I can't make a poll like that because Larry Ellison owns the fucking platform, so... if I make a poll, who's more evil, US and Israel, I'm gonna get banned. Last time I criticized Israel a bit too much, Larry Ellison restricted my visibility in the United States. Literally. Every time I criticize Israel a bit too much, Larry Ellison comes... Well, probably not Larry Ellison personally, but... like, one of his lackeys come.
I just want to say, I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
That is what its Republicans are all about. We're killing the right people and we're cutting your taxes. Except if you're the working class, then we're not cutting your taxes, but we're cutting some taxes. But we are still killing the right people. Be proud of it. I can see you're indeed a victim of leftist media. It's sad. Explain yourself. This is the same thing that Christians, like a few streams ago, said that my ideology is toxic. When I value every single human the same, I don't treat people differently. I don't think like children should suffer. I don't agree like the Trump administration hiding Epstein's sex ring. Please do tell me, like, how is the leftist media like manipulated me and like...
World War II. Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city to smithereens? So this is a war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat.
Do you guys think that October the 7th is worse than World War II? Lindsey Graham thinks so.
Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city to smithereens? So this is a war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people. What happened on October the 7th was 1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every Jew if they could, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
And then
survival,
they flattened Gaza.
just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo.
This is one of the biggest whisperers over Trump's shoulder, which is Lindsey Graham saying that he wants to kill all Palestinians in Gaza. Comparing October the 7th, which was a horrible tragedy, around 1,000 civilians died there. A horrible terror attack, a horrible tragedy. Again, life lost. Comparing October the 7th to World War II is not just ignorant, it is borderline fucking stupid. It is like you have never read history. I'm gonna say something now that's probably gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I think 9/11 was a bigger tragedy than October the 7th. I'm gonna say 9/11 was a bigger tragedy than October the 7th. What was the point of this war with Iran? Control. Control. That's it. Inside job both. Bigger betrayal. Come on, guys. Jean Cyril, thanks for the follow. Or blame Russia.
Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we? So, my view, if I were Israel...
Pahlavi is not going to become a leader of Iran. Trump already said that. I'm from New York. 9/11 changed our life. Exactly. And 9/11 didn't just change the lives of New Yorkers and all of the family members who died, the thousands of them. And of course, like we can't underestimate the after effects of the firefighters, the police officers who suffered for decades after 9/11 because of the amount of dust and dust particles and like burnt metal and all of that they inhaled. They suffered for decades, and the governments after that, Bush administration, Obama administration, they didn't give a fuck about the first responders on 9/11. 9/11 changed a lot. That's why I think 9/11, first of all, more civilians died on 9/11 than on October 7th. Second of all, 9/11 had a bigger effect globally, again. But comparing either one, 9/11 or October the 7th, to the Second World War, means that you have never opened a history book. How can he be diplomat and in the same time main reality of Gaza? Lindsey Graham is more for Israel than for United States. Listen, man, say they true Trump win in Iran, only trouble very big. Netanyahu need only stay little more war, take leave down. I don't know, that's not a proper sentence, sorry about that. Compare 9/11 to what the US has done to other countries. 9/11 compared to, for example, the almost 1 million civilians killed in Iraq, which has nothing to do with 9/11. They started a war with Iraq, which had nothing to do with 9/11. Yes, I do think that the amount of killings that the United States has done in the Middle East, especially in Iraq, dwarfs anything surrounding that. stupid political leader always creates crises, conflicts, and wars to destroy human civilization. But Ted Cruz said that he can't post anything to Twitter because there's people putting him in Israeli bikinis. Which is actually true. He said that.
Tweet this morning.
Listen.
I could tweet this morning, good morning. And hundreds of anti-Semitic responses would immediately fill my social media. Turns out I've seen many times an image of myself in a bikini with the flag of Israel.
I wonder why, Ted Cruz. I wonder why. When you simp to Israel so much that you do, ironically, immediately after that, there's Ted Cruz in bikinis and tutus with the Israeli flag. But if you simp for Israel more than you do for the United States citizens, I think Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham is more responsible for anti-Semitism, because there's a lot of people around the world that can't differentiate between the Israel the country, and the religion. I have nothing against the religion. Whenever I talk about Israel or whenever I talk about what Israel has done, I'm always talking about Netanyahu and always talking about the government. And I try to make that distinction every single time. If I don't remember it, just remember in the future. I have nothing against the religion of Judaism, or I don't have anything against the Jewish people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people online and around the world that can't make that, they can't differentiate the religion and the country. And then when you see Ted Cruz or Lindsey Graham or Benjamin Netanyahu talking, they connect Israel to the religion. And that fuels anti-Semitism. I watched the news today and they said that the civilians of Israel support the war with Iran. There are bound to be civilians in Israel that support the war. UN rights expert warns world has entered new dark age of abuses. UN Special Report Ben Saul has said a new dark age of abuses has excused naked aggression and renewed imperialism against Iran and Venezuela, raining death and violation of the right of life and making the world less safe. Which is kind of the same thing I've been talking about ever since like November. Columns of smoke over Karaj and Tehran in Iran. So there's more attacks in Iranian soil as well. Children among 9 killed in Israeli airstrike in Lebanon. Yeah, Israel is like, at the same time when they're attacking Israel, they're attacking Gaza and they're attacking Lebanon as well. So they are spreading their influence. Israel launched raids on Gaza, Gonaim, Haris, and Hadatha in southern Lebanon. But then again, there was a bit of a drama in Israeli army. I don't know if you read that, but Israeli military drops charges against soldiers accused of Gaza detainee abuse. It wasn't just that they accused. We have video footage of them. We have video footage of them raping the Gaza detainee. In your opinion, why are the USA allies with the Israeli? I think that dates back decades. I think it's kind of like probably power and money. Probably more power, though. Your hair is so nice, bro. Hey, thanks, Guinevere. Israel's top military lawyer has dropped all charges against 5 soldiers accused of the violent abuse and rape of Palestinian detainee from Gaza. And again, there is video footage of it online. So if you think this is somehow created by, I don't know, Hamas or something like that, no. We have literally video footage of this. And it's wild that they're dropping the charges. Then again, some of those 5 soldiers were kind of celebrated what they did. 33, thanks for the follow. The military advocate general Itai Ophir said prosecutors lacked key evidence after the victim was sent back to Gaza and that the conduct of senior officials had affected the chance of holding a fair trial. Medical records show the detainee was taken to hospital in the summer of 2024 with injuries including broken ribs, a punctured lung, a rectal damage, according to Israeli media reports. Rectal damage is a bit of an understatement because it wasn't damaged. It was almost destroyed. The detainee had been held at the Sde Teiman military detention center, which has become notorious for torture. After the first arrest of Israeli soldiers in connection with the attack, a far-right mob, including a minister and lawmakers, broke into the base, demanding the men's release. They demanded to release the 5 soldiers that raped this woman. And that's the only democracy in Middle East. That's the only democracy we're made to believe in the Middle East. What earbuds are they? I think these are Sony InZone. BB-Access Speedos and from the USA too. I mean, it kind of goes in line with Operation Epstein Fury, you know. That ministers from Israel want to free 5 soldiers that raped a woman in prison after they broken the rib and would go hand in hand with Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, but protecting PDFs. That's the world we're living in. Don't prosecute anybody on the Epstein's inner circle or client list. Just let them be. They want unalive Palestinians to get rid of the witnesses. They want that land for themselves. I'm sorry, soldiers assaulted women and there's proof. Not heresy, why are they breathing? That question you need to send an email message to Benjamin Netanyahu and ask about it. Five Israeli soldiers raped, beat a woman prisoner in Israeli prison. I will send him an email right now. If you want Benjamin Netanyahu to read your email, you might want to send it from the same email address as Jeffrey Epstein. I believe 100% he will pardon the Alexander Bros. Oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah. He's pardoned so many fucking scummy persons. Like Alexander Bros are probably getting pardoned as well. No fucking chance they're gonna go to prison. They could get lands everywhere. They want lands everywhere. That's why they want Iran. They want somebody leader to be in Iran. What did Netanyahu say today? That they're gonna win this war and take over the land before the Messiah returns. Or something like that. This is a holy war. Waged by the United States and
falls, then the problem would be solved. But Iran is no longer Iran of the past. Iran is no longer.
We will make it to the return of the Messiah, but this will not happen next Thursday. The blood libel known as the Sde Teiman affair against the Warriors of Force 100, which has damaged Israel's reputation in the world in an unprecedented manner, has reached its end. It is unacceptable that it took so much time to close the case that was handled in a criminal manner against IDF warriors who confront the worst of our enemies. The state of Israel must pursue its enemies, not its heroic warriors. This is about the 5 soldiers that raped the female detainee in the Israeli prison. This is from Benjamin Netanyahu, congratulating the 5 soldiers who raped the women in the prison, saying that they should have never been prosecuted. This is the only democracy in Middle East. Did you see US bombers to get loaded today, believing it was UK base? Yes. Somebody wrote in YouTube, Iran will not stop until Israel looks like Gaza. Why do you think Gaza look like Gaza? Who did that? What do you think Iran is going to look like? I think Iran is going to look like more like Gaza because the perpetrator is the same. They exploit biblical prophecies to fool people. That is exactly why religion should be nowhere near politics. You look like Aussie, bro. Thanks. But in their holy book, it says raping Goyim is not a sin. That's why. It's just so fucking sad. The time we're living. 2025 was already kind of wild, but 2026 is looking like it's gonna fucking get worse. And 3 Temple is about sacrificing people. The Epstein war continues. That is an unfortunate truth. I have to applaud like some of the politicians in the United States for... The funny thing is, do you know how many times Trump has sued people for calling him a pedophile? That is one of the funniest things in Twitter. There's a lot of people like celebrities and reporters and politicians who are calling Trump openly a pedophile. Do you know how many people Trump has sued for that? 0. As Grandma knows, pointed out, 0. You know why? Because they're trying to trap Trump. Because then Epstein files should be investigated a bit more thoroughly. It all revolves around the Epstein files and midterms because the Republicans know they're losing. I hope it's not that. That would be such a childish reason to wage war and death. Killing your own citizens. Like, well, US citizens have already died, service members, and hundreds of them have been wounded because of Trump. If this is for Epstein files, that would be an interesting conversation with the parents of the dead soldiers. Hey, your son died or your daughter died because we needed to protect pedophiles. Thank you for your service. Your son and your daughter died because we needed to protect our pedophiles and we didn't want Epstein files to come out. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Because your child died, pedophiles are saved. Thank you. If we go to war and US soil gets bombed, it's going to be a government that doesn't blame Iran. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me anymore. MH, thanks for the follow. Ilhan Omar just like tweeted today, Trump is the leader of a pedophile protection party. Trump is in the Epstein files 38,000 times. Trump wrote to Epstein about their wonderful secret. Trump flew on the Epstein's private jet and lied. And Ilhan Omar is not going to be like taken to court by Trump. You know why? Because no lies were told. So 6 million pages have been released, not holding back. If USA and Israel lose the war, what do you think the world is going to look like? They have the red button still. Israel kind of threatened already that they have something bigger in store for Iran. Even Trump threatened that they will destroy Iran because they're not nice people. Fingerheart, fairy godmother, thanks for the roses and fingerheart. By the way, your hair looks great. Thanks, Robin. Thanks for the follow as well, fairy godmother. Why is the USA on the side with Israel? Because they can hide behind Israel. I've stated this many times. Religion, even though it should be your personal belief and your personal thing with whatever deity you believe in, religion is used as a weapon. Religion is used as a weapon to justify acts of horrible actions, crimes, and even war and death. Religion is also used as a shield against criticism, against people you don't like, and also to protect all the crimes and horrible things you're doing. So that's one of the reasons probably why USA has Israel, because they are protected by Israel, because Israel always claims that anyone who opposes them is opposing the religion, even though, for example, myself don't give a shit about the religion. I only care about the country. But that is unfortunately not how a lot of people are looking at it. So that's, for example, when Trump said that we needed to attack Iran because they would have attacked and like nuked Israel and fucking destroyed Israel. Like, what sort of a backwards way of thinking that is? Like, you're the United States, you're thousands of miles away. Let Israel fight their own battle. Is this a horrible thing to say? Let a warmongering country fight their own battle. Am I a bad person for saying that? If they really want to control the whole region, let them fight their own battle. I'm anti-war, so this is a horrible thing for me to say, but in my opinion, that should be the case. Didn't they destroy Iran nukes over a month ago? They destroyed them last summer. But I think that's a lie. I'm a Muslim and I have subscribed to you, sir. Thanks for the sub. It's weird to announce what religion you believe, but I don't see religion as like other than anything other than personal thing. I do believe that religion shouldn't dictate a country's policies and laws. How many wins has USA or Middle East 0? I mean, Trump claimed that they're winning all the time, so I don't understand how the Dems aren't being held accountable for the trafficked children. What trafficked children? Zionists knew he to do it to control the government, control the world. The way it's looking like, USA wants world dominance and Israel wants regional dominance. Yeah, I think they're like in cahoots. Again, it's really Epstein Island devs. Okay. Yeah, they should be prosecuted and fucking sentenced. 100%. Anybody who's associated with Epstein, they should be like put in front of a court and jury and sentenced. Everybody, every single one. I don't fucking care what your political affiliation is. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, fucking Jamie Foxx, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, Richard Branson, everybody. Tom Hanks, everyone. Religion shouldn't justify violence. I 100% agree. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people around the world that justify their horrible actions based on religion. So many people want to be little bosses in the abusive system. You must understand Rothschilds want the greater Israel and they all work for them. Are we going back? Zuckerberg. Yeah, Zuckerberg was also with the Epstein file. And Mick Jagger was there as well. Are we going back to the Rothschilds control the whole world? I left that bus a long time ago when I stopped like following conspiracy theories. Bor, thanks to the follow. So there has been 2 attacks today in the US. There has been, yeah. There was the synagogue attack in Detroit, Michigan. And there was another attack as well, if I remember correctly. Who do you think is the boss, Trump or Netanyahu? I have a theory. I have a video footage of like why United States is in Iran. A lot of my usual viewers probably have seen this video a bit too many times, but I have video footage of like 2 days before the attack of Iran, of Netanyahu and Trump meeting up. So I'm gonna now show you a video footage, so if you can't understand humor or satire, this is not for you.
Why haven't you attacked? Oh, Donald, why haven't you attacked Iran yet? If you don't attack soon, I will release the Epstein files.
Okay, BB, I'll do whatever you want.
Oh, Donald, why haven't you attacked Iran yet? If you don't...
Some people say that's AI, but I'm not 100% convinced on that. That looks so real. That looks so real. Just because it's plausible, I want to believe that's true. But there are people who are claiming that's AI. I have some sources say that that did happen. But then again, those sources are also AI. Looks real. I mean, it could happen. It's the same with the Bubba thing, you know? You remember the best Epstein story ever is Trump blowing Bubba. And Bubba could be a horse, or Bubba could be Bill Clinton. Or maybe Bill Clinton's dick is so big that that's why they call him the horse. I still want to see which one is which. Your English is perfect. I don't think it's perfect, because English is not my native tongue, so you can clearly hear an accent. But the more I speak, the better it gets. I'll subscribe, but hey, thanks, Wojcik. Clearly, it sounds more like you speak liberal. Oh, nice. I'll take that. I would gladly speak liberal more than fascism, for example. Ozzy Osbourne. I've been called Ozzy Osbourne so many times. The funny thing is, after a few pints here in Ireland, the locals think I'm from, smaller towns around Ireland, because they're, of course, drunk. And then when I'm drunk, I start to muddle up my words and speak the same, way they speak. So it's kind of a hilarious thing. Heard that Donald Duck wants all their oil in the Gulf. My wife sent me a horrible TikTok. Could you send me the TikTok in... You're from Ireland. No, I'm from Finland, but I live in Ireland. I've been living in Ireland for 3 years. You speak 1,000% better than President Orange. I mean, that's not an achievement to speak better English than the President of the United States. It's sad. It is sad that I sometimes can pronounce, for example, words like significantly better than Donald Trump. Netanyahu died. No, Netanyahu didn't die. Or did he? Or did he? Let's see. Netanyahu died. You can't come to the chat and say that that's not true. Nah. Netanyahu didn't die. Unfortunately. How's your Bigley pronunciation? How will it end? What do you think? Again, with a lot of dead bodies, a lot of blood on the ground, no clear leadership in Iran, and a lot of civilians having resentment towards Israel and the United States, creating more danger for both for the decades and centuries to come. You can't come to the chat and say Netanyahu died, because that would instantly cause a bit of a celebration, you know? Wait a second.
We have the Olympics, we have the World Cup coming up, and we have 20, the biggest is 250, and I did all three of them. I did the Olympics, I got the Olympics. Then I got the World Cup, then I got 250, but I've never been given credit for that. They won't give me credit for 250 years, but I'm here for 250.
What? Excuse me. America's in the chat. 175 innocent schoolgirls unalive by Netanyahu. It was actually the United States. America's in the chat. What the fuck is that?
And we have the Olympics, we have the World Cup coming up, and we have 20, the biggest is 250, and I did all three of them. I did the Olympics, I got the Olympics. Then I got the World Cup, then I got 250, but I've never been given credit for.
So is Trump claiming that because of him, United States is celebrating the 250th anniversary. Am I understanding correctly? He's claiming that he should get credit for the 250th birthday of the United States. Big Book say fire and end of world, only see Trump can put stop only. All with bone spurs, legend. Like
For that, they won't give me credit for 250 years, but I'm here for 250.
And now he's claiming that he's going to live for another 250 years. They won't give me credit for 250 years, but I'm here for 250. I mean, I'm sorry, but every day he says something more stupid than the day before. Every single day he needs to one-up himself. He can't see past his own ego. He doesn't understand fucking time. That's the issue here. What was that? Hey, with the 03, thanks to follow on Twitch. Like, I don't think he understands calendars, and I don't think he understands time. Bring back the files, I do agree. Here's a funny question. How many of you Google Trump pooped in his pants on February 2nd, 2026? Okay, I'll Google that. Trump pooped his pants on February 2nd, 2026. Is this a bait? Do I need to... There is no evidence or a reputable news report to support this claim regarding Donald Trump on February 2nd, 2026 or any other date. But he did shit himself. I do remember the press conference. They ushered everybody out really fast. So I'm gonna say he shit himself, 100%. Did you read the story about the young girl biting Donald Trump dick off in the Epstein file? The woman whose name is redacted alleges that when she was between 30 and 15 years old, Epstein took her to either New York or New Jersey, where in a very tall building with a huge room, he introduced her to Trump. Trump said, she said, I didn't like that I was a boy girl, which the interview notes interpret to mean tomboy. The woman said other people were present, but she couldn't recall who. Trump asked them to leave the room, then said something to the effect of, let me teach you how little girls are supposed to be. According to the interview notes, Trump then unzipped his pants and put her head down to his penis. She recalled in the interview, she said that she beat the shit out of it. In response, she said he pulled her hair and punched her on the side of her head. Get this little bitch the hell out of here, the woman recalled him saying. At that point, she said people re-entered the room. I think that girl back then, but woman now, should receive the Medal of Honor. I think if you're that brave that you bite the dick of Donald Trump, I think you should deserve a Medal of Honor and also not have to pay for your life for the rest of your life. Don't be too serious, my friend. Your handsomeness will disappear. I'm just happy that somebody called me handsome, because I have a mirror, so I don't think like I'm Henry Cavill handsome. It's a lie. Let's investigate it. It's not a lie. I like, if it walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, Looks like a duck. It probably is a duck, you know. If you have this many times the same perpetrators appearing in these notes, committing heinous acts, while you were also really fast to jump on like condemning Bill Clinton, which I also do, and also condemning Bill Gates, which I also do, you should be able to also say that, hey, that's a bit fucking sus how many times Trump has been around Epstein and young girls and allegedly killing children, raping them, forcing them for oral sex, getting his dick bit off. There was that one fucking story where Trump and Epstein threw like children from the deck of a boat or something like that. You know, how many times are you willing to say like, yeah, I don't believe that. Not my Trump. Nope. Not my Trump. My Trump is a Jesus-loving conservative who believes in the core family. Except he was fucking a porn star when Melania was pregnant on Baron Trump. But yeah, that Jesus would probably do the same. Yeah, if Jesus had a chance to fuck a porn star while Mary Magdalene was pregnant, he would have done that. Oh, is that you? Yeah, it's me. Adro 4130, thanks for the file. What about Sasha Riley? Exactly. What about Sasha Riley? Sasha Riley wasn't even like interviewed by the FBI. He reported everything to the local authorities and they just dismissed him. Raw dogging Stormy. I mean, it's not a real feat with Donald Trump. It's like literally, you know, stomach and thighs. Especially if that young lady bit his dick off. Like, I don't think there was anything between his legs. Work what he did in addition to his own pleasure was blackmailing important people. It's all stomach and thighs, you know. There's nothing touching. There's nothing going, there's no penetration. This is going to be the history books and hard drives, because in 2026 social media is full throttle mode and everyone has phone. One of the best comments I've ever seen in these lives was like a few lives ago when somebody said that a decade from now, when we're reading the history of this timeline, this is going to be referred to as the Epstein Wars era. You make a lot of accusations but give no evidence. Just a second, I'll provide you evidence. Where are you? There you go. Have fun reading. There you go, your evidence. Enjoy. If you have not opened that file, please shut the fuck up about evidence. And also, we do have AI nowadays, so if you don't want to read it yourself, you can just download the whole fucking thing for your hard drive and then upload it to the AI, or you can just paste the URL. But it's easier for the AI to go through them if they're actually like in a file. So you might want to download them first and then upload the whole fucking thing to the AI of your choosing, and it can actually go through everything. Unfortunately, you can't find in the Epstein files the ones that DOJ has redacted and actually removed. Now I'm serious, bro. Do you agree with America attacking Iran? No, I don't agree with him. Just like I didn't agree with United States attacking Venezuela. It's none of their business. Subscribe, bud. Hey, thanks, the program. Drisek, thanks for the follow. The whole Epstein thing is complete sick and wrong, and everybody knows it. Yeah, but there's still a lot of people who are bending backwards for billionaires and powerful people who were in those files. Friends with Epstein, associates with Epstein. They are like, not my billionaire. Don't worry, billionaire. I will protect you. I will protect you even though you don't care about me. Just like Elon Musk's brother asking Epstein about the fucking boom boom room. Or Epstein telling Elon Musk that he doesn't want Elon Musk to the Epstein Island because he's fucking boring. Google Trump and calendar girls in the files. When they are bringing rocks to our country, it's our business. What? When they're bringing rocks to our country. So, rocks are now all of a sudden bad thing. Or do you mean drugs? Was that a typo? He means he will be here for the 250-year celebration. I mean, do you believe in paranormal? I saw it in your bio, though. Would also mean that stands with Trump. That makes sense. I see the correlation there. I can't say the word on TikTok. What word? Try. Taxes, bro. Mr. Ray, thanks for the follow. Fentanyl overdose is down 80% thanks to the closed border. Fentanyl overdose could have been also addressed, or drug problems in general, by other means as well. No one is forcing you to take drugs. Try some accountability. I think all drugs should be free. No, not free, but like legal. I think all drugs should be legal. It's your body. Do what you want. You look Norwegian. Thanks, but no, I'm not Norwegian. I'm kind of close though. Like, who the fuck are we to say to people like they can't take cocaine if they want to? We do, like, provide alcohol. We do provide caffeine. We do provide nicotine. We prescribe opioids that people become addicted to. We talked about the opioid crisis. They should be legal. Do you have children? I do have children. I have 2 kids. Yeah, I have 2 daughters. I've never used drugs. What's your next argument, mama? I have 2 children. I've never taken drugs. Well, if you don't count caffeine, but you get worse drugs from the pharmaceutical, and they're legal, and you get addicted to them. Mama of 3, you should remember the 2000 opioid crisis in the United States. That was pushed by illegal drugs. They think things are bad without oil. Mama of 3, do you think that alcohol should be banned? Alcohol is way worse than drugs. Yeah, they don't handle painkillers anymore as much, but they used to. They got caught. Oh, you don't think alcohol should be banned? No, no surprise there. No surprise there. Like, I think it's a good thing that in the United States, weed is almost everywhere legal. 100%. Alcohol is poison. Yeah. But then again, it's a person's own decision if they want to take it. Just like, that's why I'm for abortion. Like, I think abortion is like women's choice. Food and water is worth more than oil. Usually people who are against drugs all of a sudden bend the knee when we're talking about tobacco or nicotine or alcohol, which is fucking hypocritical. Our country is under Israeli control. Is that right, bruh? Nope. No, it's not. Agree with abortions. 100% like. So the father shouldn't have a say in. I mean, do you think that all abortions are only made the decision by a woman only? So cocaine, etc. is okay. If a person wants to use cocaine at the moment, they can buy cocaine. Unfortunately, they need to buy it illegally, so it's going to be more dangerous than if it was legal. So actually, it being illegal is more dangerous than it being legal. You think people would start all of a sudden using cocaine more and more? Have you ever been to Netherlands? Have you ever been outside of the United States? The drug usage doesn't go up drastically. People might experiment with them. It being legal would destroy the black market of drugs, you know. Mama of three, do you know what the biggest threat to the lives of children is in the United States? Do you know what the greatest cause of death in the United States is for kids? Is it drugs? Is it drug related? There's a few smart people in the chat. There's a few smart people in the chat. Not all of them. Guns are still the #1 cause of death for children. It has had the #1 place for a long time in the United States. It's been #1 since the early 2000s. But that's when like people believe like their cult so much that they think that an issue is much bigger than they are. And then they live in a different reality than, well. Willis, we were talking about children. We were talking about children. Firearms remain the biggest cause of death in children. Mama of three, do you admit that you were wrong? That's okay. I was wrong yesterday as well. I admitted it. I took responsibility. I corrected myself. Mama of three, will you correct yourself? It's a really important question here because, like, when we are wrong, we take responsibility and act like adults. Yes, good. I'm not saying that fentanyl is good. Me saying that drugs should be a person's choice is not saying that fentanyl is good. Fentanyl is literally poison, but fentanyl is also used in prescription medication. You know? Fentanyl is used in prescription medication. And it's also used in medication that is used in like surgeries and such. But of course, when you have something that will get you fucked up, people find a way to get fucked up. It all boils down to like, are we hyperfixating on like act of a few to punish all? Is fentanyl being illegal the same thing that if a person wants to get high on smoking pot? It's not the same. Fentanyl and weed isn't the same thing. Fentanyl and cocaine isn't the same thing. Fentanyl and fucking mushrooms aren't the same thing. Some say there's actually health benefits on eating mushrooms. I wouldn't like to do that. I'm not saying that. And again, this is coming from a person that I have never taken drugs. I've never taken drugs. And I can see one of the biggest contributors for drug abuse and also dying on like bad products is because drugs are illegal. And there's a lot of bad people who are lacing drugs with other stuff. I've been around friends who are high. I don't have anything against, like, never had a fight with them. I've been around with friends who are drunk. Yeah, that's a different story. I really like people who are high more than I like people who are drunk. Why not eliminate the black market that creates the crime, legalize everything? Exactly, it would eliminate the black market completely. Not probably completely, but somewhat. So why are counterattacking Iran just to divert the Epstein issue? Like, I think that's a bit of a leap. There's people who say that that's the reason, but I still want to believe that this is just to control Iran. But then again, weirder shit has happened, you know? Melissa, thanks for the follow. This war won't mean anything when there is nothing you can afford to eat. Vicious circle. But if we really are in the restrictive mood, then let's start with guns. I mean, yeah. If we actually like care about kids and like fentanyl being dangerous for children, which fentanyl is, and if we're scared about like things that kill children, let's start with guns. But of course, as I've stated many times, United States have like what, 3 times their population of guns in circulation, 2 or 3 times. How many? I feel like there's 346 million people in the United States. I would argue that there's almost double. So let's say 692 million guns in the United States. It's probably gonna be a bit hard to like, you know, regulate that properly. But then again, Finland, for example, there's a lot of Finnish people in the chat. You know that Finns have one of the highest guns per capita around the world, which is true. We also have a really strict gun law in Finland, but you can own a gun for hunting and sport. And we have also, if you get caught drunk driving or have any like interactions with the police and you're jailed or put to like jail or you get the mark on your register, you will lose your gun. Google Lev Tahor. I'll do that. Kokos, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we're not giving up our bullets. What if we let people keep their guns but not their bullets? Lev Tahor is an ultra-Orthodox Jew sect often characterized as a cult founded by Israel by Shlomo Heilbrand in 1988. Is the Lev Tahor cult actually Jewish? What do you need a gun in Finland for? Hunting and sports. Death rates would drop dramatically if criminals couldn't own guns. Our criminals own guns as well in Finland. But the death amount of like gun deaths in Finland isn't that high. Bibi is Polish. That is true. A lot of people don't know that Netanyahu is not Bibi's original surname. Iran says only blocking US-Israel linked ships in Strait of Hormuz. That's a ballsy move. US military says it has lost a refueling aircraft in Iraq. Who said it? Somebody reported that before I got here. Hand up who reported that before me. Oh yeah, Comal X-12. Just seen the United States lost a refueling aircraft in Iraq. Yeah, the NRA pays the politicians in the United States. It's almost as worse as bad as AIPAC. So US military says it has lost a refueling aircraft in Iraq. The US Army Central Command, CENTCOM, says it has lost the KC-135 refueling aircraft in friendly airspace during its war on Iran, and rescue efforts are going. 2 aircraft were involved in the incident, and 1 went down in western Iraq, while the other landed safely. This was not due to the hostile fire or friendly fire, CENTCOM said. More information will be made available as situation develops. And again, military will go to the parents and partners of these soldiers that if there's any deaths, and tell that, hey, your son or your partner sacrificed their life for the pedophiles. The United States and Trump thanks for your children and your partner's sacrifice, so that the pedophiles can be safe. I'm sad. I don't want to see any fucking US service members dying needlessly of a war that didn't need to happen. There was no need for this. Kerry, thanks for the follow. But now, US citizens are in risk because of like potential sleeper cells. Also, US will be at risk, and Israel in the future, because the more civilians die in Iran, the more hatred towards Iran, Israel and United States will brew up in the future generations. Iran posed no national threat, as evidenced by the fact that they are struggling to hit US even now. USA knew this. The sleeper cells that came in through Biden border. Or maybe they were the people that were trained by previous administrations. Also, sleeper cells are not like within the last 5 years, you do know that. Iran probably has had people inside United States since the fucking 80s or 90s. Probably from the 80s, because United States, like Secret Service, used to train Iranian guerrilla fighters back in the 80s. That's truth. That's absolutely not true. Because first of all, none of the sleeper cells has been found. And second of all, because none of the sleeper cells have been found, we can't trace where they've been coming. So yeah, it might be true, just like it might be true that it was on Trump's term, or Obama's term, or George Bush's term, or actually in the 80s when they were training the guerrilla fighters in Iran against the Soviets. The Strait of Hormuz move food as well as useless oil. I mean, oil isn't useless. The reason why oil isn't... I would love oil to be useless, but oil isn't useless. I would love oil to be completely useless. That way United States wouldn't have the leverage that they're trying to build, because they own Venezuela's oil at the moment, and if they conquer Iran, they would own Iran's oil. And then they are really good friends with Saudis. Well, Trump and Trump's family are. So they would own the number 1, number 2, and number 3 heavy crude oil reserves in the world. So that's why I really want oil not to be the measure of power. I love Israel. I feel bad for you. But then again, you can love whoever you want to. Love is love. I can't love a country whose leaders are willing to kill innocent children and women. But then again, Canada has oil, the US has oil. If they think Iran has nuclear high-grade uranium, they drop too. But they didn't. They didn't have. They had actually 60% enriched uranium, but they didn't have a nuclear weapons program, which was provided by the UN watchdog. Also, the United States claimed last summer that they destroyed the nuclear program. But of course, we know the Operation Midnight Hammer was probably a lie. or an exaggeration again by Trump. Because Trump can't... Haven't you... I hope you guys know that Trump was trained from the very beginning never to admit defeat, always deflect and attack, attack, attack. He can't admit defeat. We've been hearing that Iran is going to launch at the United States in a couple of months for the last 25 years. Oh yeah. Bibi Netanyahu warned the United States since the fucking late 80s, early 90s that United States, Iran is 2 weeks away from weapons-grade uranium. Iran is a month away, 2 months away, 6 months away from a nuclear weapon capable of destroying the United States. Like Bibi Netanyahu has been lobbied so hard for the war against Iran. He finally got a puppet as the president, who actually was stupid enough to start that. He never wanted to be the president anyway. Who? Trump? Trump wanted the oil, Bibi wanted the control, both fucked up. If Trump wanted the oil so bad, he could have just asked, like, I don't know, Puff Daddy. P. Diddy could have given him all the oil in the world. Will the US fall into the Supreme Leader's demands? Does this mean Iran has full control of oil not flow? Escalation is going to be next Gap for Life. Again, as I stated, Trump will never admit defeat. He hates windmills. He does hate windmills. Well, Trump doesn't hate windmills because he knows, like, that's not his own decision. He needs to say windmills are stupid and everybody who uses them are suckers, because you know that the oil industry has lobbied for hundreds of millions of dollars Trump's presidential campaign. So he needs to lobby against windmills. Onko sun nimi Alisa? Hey, no, it's my wife's second name. No windmills since 1930. China has the most windmills and generates the most energy through wind farms. As any uranium from Canada used in any reactor ends up back in the country origin. Wind turbines. Trump's son were just handed 100% of the market of military drones. Oh yeah. The funny thing is, like, Trump's son was also a part of the drone company that the Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem bought a contract to surveil citizens of the United States during the World Cup. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are not talking about that enough. They're just like, okay, just comply. All of a sudden, mass surveillance is a good thing. Fuck them. And the most coal. The most beautiful coal, because you can't say coal, you need to put in front of them beautiful. China's going to be the world's biggest economy by 2025. They're working really hard to get out of fossil fuels. They're working extra hard to get out of fossil fuels. I think that's also a potential reason why Trump wants to stockpile on oil. Glory to the people of Iran and death to IDF. Okay. I mean, there are a lot of IDF people who are saying that there's no innocent people in Gaza and that every single Palestinian deserves to die. I think all of those soldiers should be, like, put to trial, investigated. The reason people aren't talking about things like this is because the media are owned by the offenders. Wind and water are probably better, like nuclear energy, wind and water, and solar energy. Beautiful coal. You can't say coal anymore. You need to put in front of beautiful. Trump said Iran had contacted him and wanted to make peace. Iran denied this, so who's lying? Iran also said that Trump called them and wanted truce. So, as I stated, you have two governments that are willing to lie, so it's really hard to make a decision like who's right. Then again, we have one party that can't admit defeat. Big, beautiful coal. 85% chance Democrats win the House this year, an all-time high. I am having some popcorn if that happens, because that would mean civil war in the United States. Trump is willing to do like I said it yesterday, that if Republicans lose the midterms, we will see something fucking wild from Trump. He's gonna do something that no other president has ever done. What it is, no one knows. But this is my prediction. Martial law. And they're just gonna say that, hey, we don't accept this election result. We're gonna take power. This isn't Hearthstone, really? I haven't played Hearthstone in a while. Healthcare in Europe costs less than America and it's free. Yeah. Recap what happened today with the US-Iran situation. There was a US air carrier dropped down, and Iran and Israel has been bombing each other, and Israel has been bombing Lebanon. United States claimed that they won yesterday within an hour of the starting of the war, and then they said that we didn't won. Oh, on Wednesday, Trump declared we won in the first hour, it was over. But of course, we know it wasn't over. I have no faith that the midterms will happen. That's also a possibility that there's going to be something internally inside the United States that will make that midterms will not happen. That Trump needs to put in martial law. That's one of the only ways that he can prevent the election to happen. Yeah, US military says it lost the refueling. Bahrain intercepts 140 missiles. Tel Aviv getting bombarded. Tehran being bombarded. Like new cars, they get found with all the new anti-theft features and individual parts. What are we talking about? A war can't be won and yet nothing will change. Then I don't think there was a winner. Where are you from in Europe? Originally from Finland, of course. Born and raised Finnish. Lived there for 33 years, and I've been living in the past 3 years, just above 3 years, here in Ireland. If our country behaves well, there will be no enemies, because the world knows that America is strong. Exactly. I've been emphasizing that so much, and I've gotten a lot of hate for it as well. That if there's a reason why Iran isn't screaming death to Ireland. There's a reason why Iran isn't screaming death to Finland. But they are screaming death to America. Just like Iraq, a lot of Syrian people are screaming death to America. And there is a reason for that. Finland hasn't bombed Iran. Finland hasn't bombed Iraq. Finland hasn't bombed Syria. Ireland's sponge boy, me Bob. We're in Vault 101 here. Because we need their oil. Iran versus the Epstein regimes. I love those. Death to Calvin, never saw it. They want the regime to end so they can have freedom. What are you talking about? What freedom? Do you think freedom is not having the ability to choose and have elections that the people of Iran can actually decide their future? That's not freedom. That's not why America and Israel went to war. They don't give a fuck about Iran's freedom. Sonny, I'm sorry about that, but that is not true. The Trump war in Iran will be the worst than the 2016-2024 Trump war in Afghanistan. Like, I hope nobody still believes that Trump and the United States and Israel cares about the people of Iran. That is just a scapegoat. They're using that as a justification. I'm speaking on behalf of the Iranians. No, you're not. If you're spreading like really, really dangerous rhetoric there. Because all the leaders, well, Israeli and the US leaders have said that they are going to be in charge who's going to lead Iran. So even if Iran has elections in the future, if the election result isn't satisfied by Israel and the United States, the elections don't mean shit. That's not freedom. Sorry, Bubbo, or what was your name? Sonny. Sorry, Sonny. That's not freedom. If you think that's freedom, always remember we have Hillatolpa if needed, but Soine just hide it damn well. So what is the crux I don't understand? They want to control Iran. That is not freedom. Iran is going to be a colony of Israel and the United States. Caliphates are not freedom either. That is true. What they have at the moment isn't freedom either. The only way Iran will have freedom is if the regime is destroyed, and then United States and Israel would automatically, instantly fuck off. Let the Israeli people handle the rest. Kill the regime, fuck off. Sorry, I mean, why are they trying to choose Iran rulers? Because they want to control Iran. Netanyahu has said it like a long time that they need a leader in Iran that they can control. Trump also said the same thing about Venezuela and is saying the same thing about Cuba, is saying the same thing about his own hemisphere and sings the same thing about Iran. Saudi Arabia has no freedom, no feasibility anyway. Yep, little Israel handle. They need a fucking colony there. You simply do not have the capacity to understand the issue. Trump will delete the religious fanatics. I'm sorry, fine frog hair, but I don't think you even fucking understand what you're talking about. I just repeated what Netanyahu and his government has said, and Trump has said. It's the same rhetoric they used in Venezuela. In Iran, they used that if they have elections in the future, once the special operation is over, if they have elections in the future, the next leader needs to be favorable to Israel and the United States. Not for the Iranians. The Iranian people wasn't mentioned. It needs to be favorable for Israel and the United States, not for the people of Iran. Trump used the Iranian people as a reason, a scapegoat to attack Iran. He doesn't give a fuck about it. United States just fucking bombed a girls' school. They've killed above 2,000 civilians already. How the hell is that caring for the Iranian people? Chinese have sent Soyuz ship scanning airspace and targeting American installation. Free Palestine, I do agree with that. The Irish will make peace, get the leaders drunk peace deal. I do, that would be awesome. I think all the fucking leaders should get into an octagon and fight it out themselves, like Trump against Khamenei's son and also Netanyahu, like a triple threat match. That way, no service members, no civilians would need to die, and the leaders could fight their own battle. And the news is lying to us and not giving us the right info. I mean, the news is only telling you what is the most popular thing, not necessarily what's right. The news needs to be first, and it needs to create a lot of revenue. It doesn't need to be right. How many times have you seen news outlets like correct themselves? That's not their business. Their business isn't to tell you what is true, what is happening really. Their business is to tell you news 24/7 as fast as possible, so you will constantly click and be confused about the news that's going on. That's just the climate of that area. It's always been that way, and it's always going to stay that way. I don't think so. That's like the BBC. Yeah, it's like the BBC, it's like the Fox News, it's like CNN, ABC. It's like weird that you're gonna isolate BBC on that, but it's like every fucking big news station. That is literally how news have worked since the early 2010s. Drop site news is great. That is true. Yle as well. Yle is not... I would put Iltalehti or Ilta-Sanomat in that. Some worse than others. 100%. Drop site is a good site. Like, good news site. And I do have a favorite if you want to try and make any sense of the Iran war. I have a favorite of my own, which is IranMonitor.org doesn't discriminate on news outlets. It just posts all the news. IranMonitor.org posts everything that is being talked about in Iran in every single news outlet. So you can try and navigate that yourself. It has Israeli news, it has Iranian news, it has Lebanese news, it has US news, European news, it has Indian news, Japanese, Chinese news, Russian news. It has independence, like it has everything. This war called Epstein Wars. Yeah, it is called the Epstein Wars, Operation Epstein Fury. Kariman said thanks to follow. And it has all the social media posts about all the people who are like posting live or all the protests that's going on. Conflict map, I think that's a new thing. I haven't, yeah. There you go. We have a conflict map now as well. So we can see where the hits are going. Oh, there's a fire in Qasr Shirin. Destruction of the central police station of Salas-e-Babashani County in Kermanshah. And let's go to... Oh, there's something in Baghdad. Protest near the Green Zone in Baghdad, Iraq. Let's go closer to the Israeli naval submarine leaving the Haifa naval base. Oh, wow. There's a submarine leaving the Israeli the port. Beirut been hitting, but that's Israeli hitting them. Heavy damage in Dire depot after reported Israeli strikes. Tel Aviv been hitting kind of hard. Point of view, Iranian missile strike on Tel Aviv. What? Do we have a POV video of this? Yes, we do. There we go. Yeah, if you want to follow the war, I've been using this ever since like the start of the war. So highly recommend. Israel won't let video out of the nation, it's censored. That's okay. That's where it actually comes. There's independent Israeli news outlets as well that they are sharing videos and reports inside Iran. Wait, what are you using? I'm using the IranMonitor.org. So if you want to have uncensored news from everything, every single news outlet, this collects everything 24/7 all the time. Yes, IranMonitor.org. Royal Blood, thanks for the follow. I can show you on TikTok as well what it looks like, the page itself. So this is IranMonitor.org. As you can see, the social media feed is on the left. You can't see it because the screen is too small. But there's a social media feed here. There's live here. You can conflict maps. You have all the headlines of all the news outlets here. So you can pick and choose what you want to leave. It has, as I said, there's Israeli news. There's news from all sides of the war. And there's probably some news outlets you have never heard of. What channel is that, bro? This is not a channel. This is a website. Evil wants to possess everything. Jolem Mahalakwa, thanks for the follow. Okay, you probably shouldn't bring up the Falkland Islands. Why? I didn't say anything about the Falkland Islands. Did you see the vid of them blowing up the tanker? I've seen quite a few of them. France 24 have done a decent job. I think, yeah, like France 24. But ever since, like, the Ukraine-Russia escalation in a few years ago, I noticed that you can't really trust one news outlet and you need to diversify your where you're reading your news from. What's your take on what's going on in the Falkland Islands? Yoris was a woman, doesn't she deserve? What are we talking about? So have they made any threats to our mainland in the United States? I think they've always made threats to the United States, like death to America and like lying that they have nuclear weapons, then they will destroy the United States. But it's the same thing as like Kim Jong-un back in the day made those threats. They don't have the capabilities to do that.
Not just get one like voter ID, but, you know, it can be given to you by your daughter. You know, your daughter, she has to be of age, like above 6 years old, she's allowed to say. And let's go for the gold. Let's not just get one like voter ID, but, you know, it can be given to you by your daughter. You know, your daughter, she has to be of age, like above 6 years old, she's allowed to.
Ireland is pro-Israel. No, it's not. Ireland has been pro-Palestine for a long time. Oh yeah, pro-Palestine. That's what I was like, whoa there, horsey. We are pro-Palestine. And I understand why Ireland is pro-Palestine. It makes total sense. Of the history with the United Kingdom, the neighbor, it makes total sense that Ireland would be on the side of Palestine. I can't get my rapist punished in a free world because of correction similar to Epstein. I just saw a video where Lindsey Graham is trying to get Trump to attack Hezbollah in Beirut. Yes. Yeah, we had 800 years of English occupation. Yes, exactly, Patrick. Like, I used to live in Belfast as well, so, like, I so much understand why Irish people would side with Palestine. And also why Irish people would side with Ukraine as well. It makes so much sense. David, thanks for the follow. But now, it's almost 11 here in Ireland. And I still have one more day. Tomorrow we can do an all-nighter. Doesn't Ireland have a large Jewish population? It's not large. It has a Jewish population, but... So no woman rights here in whatsoever. Where? What do you mean no woman rights? Matthew, thanks for the follow. I'm drifting the first 5 people to message me, great. I'm not going to message you, great. We love Jewish people, not the right-wing government of Israel. Exactly, Patrick. That's one of the best answers. Like, I have nothing against Jewish people. I have a lot against Netanyahu and Netanyahu's war criminal government. Nothing against Jewish people or religious people in that regards. Grammy, thanks for the follow. Perfect answer, Patrick. Perfect answer. All right, I have one more working day tomorrow, so we can do a bit of a longer stream tomorrow. So I need to go to sleep and wake up early. Thanks, everyone. We had a good stream. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Trump wears, lifts, and gathers a makeup that looks 90 years old. So Take care. Stay safe. Good rest of the day, evening, night, wherever you are. Try to love one another. I do agree, Sonny, and I'm like one thing I want to say before we go, like if you want to attack somebody, don't attack each other in the chat. Try and have a like nice conversation with each other. You can attack me. I'm here. I'm literally the target here. So if you want to say like go do ad hominems and so forth, you can do it to me. But see you later, guys. Have a great rest of the evening. Take care. Peace out.